Okay guys, so I have had some crazy guitars in my time. I mean, I've got one of the MAB Rocket guitars, and this George Lynch Sunburst Tiger, and this Washburn HM20, but never mind all that because the guitar I'm going to show you now is pretty much the craziest guitar I've ever had. Say hello to my custom double neck absolute disaster of a guitar. So this was a guitar that I ordered on Aliexpress. You can get all kinds of crazy stuff on there. But this even was pretty far out for AliExpress. It's sort of an Ibanez Xiphos pipe dream, but with different headstocks and different specs. And if I'm being totally honest, I didn't really have high hopes for it. At least, I didn't expect it to be perfect. But man, as far as playability and overall quality goes, this is actually one of the worst guitars I've ever played. It barely works at all. Now, it does look extremely awesome though, so I am going to try and salvage it, but that's going to be a very long-term project. Okay, but what's so bad about it, right? Let me give you a quick rundown of everything that's wrong with this guitar. So first of all, it doesn't stay in tune at all. The action is very high. I mean, we've got a good like 3/8 of an inch action up here. The toggle switch for the 6-string doesn't toggle. Actually, the switch is like pushed down into the body, and so it doesn't have enough room to get to either the bridge or neck position. So it's just permanently stuck in the middle position. So there's only one pickup position you can use, and naturally it's my least favorite one. Now, up here, the locking nut is a total disaster. Now, you might notice that the one right here is missing. That's because the first time I tried to tune this guitar and lock the clamps down, the threads stripped out the first time I tried to use it. And on top of that, the clamps are way too small and they're not even all the same size. After my first attempt at using this went so badly, I'm not even going to try to use the other clamps. Now let's talk about these two beautiful maple necks. Every fret end is sharp on this. Both necks. This is the kind of thing where it'll start to tear up the side of your finger as you shift up and down the fretboard. Okay, now moving down here to the end of the guitar. Now this is not so much a build quality problem, but it's more of a weird design choice. But if you look down here, there are two separate output jacks. So the two necks are actually electronically independent. So you need two amplifiers to make this guitar work, unless you just want to use one neck at a time, which then defeats the purpose of having a double neck guitar. Okay, and lastly, this guitar took months to arrive. I have a feeling it was sitting in customs for a while, with the customs agents just laughing at it. Or maybe they were laughing at me for ordering it. Okay, the funny thing is, despite all of those problems, and there might even be more problems that I don't know about yet, I do still love how awesomely metal this guitar looks. Can you imagine showing up to a jazz audition with this? Okay guys, so we want to hear how this thing sounds, right? I will do my best with this guitar, but please remember this thing is really a struggle to play. Okay guys, so I'll go ahead and give you some playing samples with this guitar, but real quick, as always, if you enjoy videos like this and checking out cool guitars and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Also guys, stick around to the end of the video to check out the latest classic metal vinyl album that I've been listening to. Enough talk. Let's plug this in and hope that it doesn't catch fire. Okay guys, now I know that that was a mess, but honestly I can't play this thing for more than a few seconds without it going out of tune. I was going to play along with a backing track like I normally do, but to be honest I couldn't even keep the guitar in tune long enough to make it worthwhile. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. If this guitar had all of its problems fixed, it would actually be really cool. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and save it, but you know, that is easier said than done though, especially when you consider how much hardware on this guitar and the electronics and everything, and the pickups, all that stuff is going to have to be replaced. It's going to need some fretwork too, maybe shimming the necks, I mean who knows what else. So actually, now that I think about it, what do you guys think I should do? Do you think I should try and, you know, rebuild this and fix it and make it into all that it can be? Or do you think I should just junk it and, you know, play one of the other awesome guitars that I have that doesn't need any work? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Okay guys, now as I talked about earlier in the video, I want to share with you the current classic metal album on vinyl that I've been listening to lately. This is it right here. It's Animal Magnetism by the Scorpions. I love this cover. What an awesome cover. They don't do covers like this anymore. It kind of reminds me of the scene in Spinal Tap. What's wrong with being sexy? No, sexist. So this album came out in 1980, and you know, in my opinion, it's really not their strongest album at all. But I think what this album did is it brought the Scorpions from this sort of hard rock or like classic rock 70s band, and it transformed them into an 80s metal band, which I think is how most people think of the Scorpions. You know, they think of like, you know, Rock You Like a Hurricane and that kind of stuff. And really, the songwriting on this album is sort of more classic sounding, like it has a 70s songwriting kind of vibe to it. But the production and like the guitar tones and everything were very 80s metal sounding. Now, this album does have one big hit on it that became one of the Scorpions classics, and that's The Zoo. And that's on the side B, and it's the second to last song on the album. Anyway guys, what do you think about that album? Again, this is what I've been listening to lately. When I make pancakes on a Sunday morning, I've been putting this on. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Normally I would put links down in the video description below for the guitar and everything, but the guitar sucks, honestly, so I'm not going to put a link down there for it. I will have links down there though for my social media and my merch and my instructional videos and all that good stuff. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.